Well, thank you, Richard. I also like to make sure I always embarrass Richard as much as I can because I enjoy it so much. But he understated his impact on the Reach Center. He was the person that drove it for 4 years before we opened up. And if it wasn't for him, there would not be a Reach Center. Him and Terry Hayes, the CEO of Goodwill, worked incredibly hard. Once we opened up, he continued his advocacy for it. He's actually, we call our board a leadership team. He's been a chair of the leadership team since we've been opened up. And I'm on the first floor, he's on the third floor. When I have issues, I just go right on up to the third floor and we talk about it, we come to a great resolution. So I'd like to say thank you, Richard, for the work you've done at the Reach Center to make it happen. Because of the work he's done, we are able to impact young people on a daily basis. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what the Reach Center is and the impact you have made on a couple people by your being involved in our housing program we just started up. So the Reach Center, even though I talked how much about Goodwill has been involved, the Reach Center is not a Goodwill program. We are a true collaborative of almost 40 agencies in Pierce County that have come together to serve that 16 to 24-year-old age group that before we came along, there was nothing for them. They would have to go throughout the county looking for resources. And you know how hard that is, especially when you don't have a car. We'd say about 95% of the young people we serve come on the bus. And with the way the transportation is now, that makes it a lot tougher. So we're able to provide a lot of different services. So if you can kind of imagine back when you were 18, 19 years old, for a few of you, that's going to be a couple years from now. But how many of you knew what you wanted to do in life? You know, you're probably confused, you know, going to school, thinking, oh man, what do I want to do? I was there, I still am sometimes. Now you add in, they may not have a high school diploma or even a GED, and you're trying to start life that way. Then you add in, well, what's your family situation? If you have a family to support you. If you have a family that is able to help you financially. Once you throw that in, those are the young people we see on a daily basis that come in our door. So the model we use is called the peer advocacy model. I'm the old man of the group. Everybody else, that's the staff, is around 25 to the early 30s. So they're able to relate to the young person that walks in the door. So the first time somebody walks in the door, they come to our front desk, they ask questions. We have them fill out a one-page intake form. That's the information we ask. After that, they don't check in at the front desk. What they'll do is they know what they want to do. They'll go to our resource room, they'll go to our incentive room, they'll go to the GED class, they'll go to the different programs we have on site. Or they'll meet with one of our peer advocates. They'll meet with Becky, who's our employment specialist. Maybe they're going to come to the job fair. They need more information about that. Maybe they need a food handler's card. So Becky will get them online and get them that card. Maybe they do really, finally, they want to go to community college. We're able to offer the placement test for free for them. And so we'll get them on, it'll take about an hour. They'll take the AccuPlacer, and then we meet with them to talk about what the results are for their test. Are they a little bit below? Are they maybe above average? So maybe we can talk about different directions. Now, maybe they're talking about, I need a FAFSA. I need to do a FAFSA. I need financial aid. So we have a partner from the Educational Opportunity Center through NBC on site to help them with that post-secondary piece. When I talk about post-secondary, that's not just college, that's certifications. Maybe we have a program with Clover Park Technical College where there's an EPA training, Environmental Protection Agency training for hazardous waste. We can get them in there and get them set up for that. And that program has a 75% placement rate for employment. It's those kinds of things that we're able to offer to that young person that doesn't have the slightest idea what to do. And to tell the truth, I get a lot of parents coming up to me and saying, I don't know what my son wants to do. What is your suggestion? We just say, have them come on in. You can come along or not, whatever you feel. So we have a lot of major programs. And I want to talk about a program that Sunrise Rotary is a part of. So on January 2nd, we started Housing for Success. This is a housing program in partnership with Associated Ministries, Vadis, have shared housing services, and Reach Center. This is the only program in Pierce County that provides housing for 16 to 24-year-olds. Until we opened up our doors on January 2nd, 16 to 24-year-old unaccompanied had no place to go if they were experiencing homelessness. Well, they did have places to go, under the bridge, in some cases the homeless shelter, surf couching or couch surfing. Couch surfing is where you go from literally couch to couch of your friends' houses. And they didn't have anywhere to go. They didn't know where they were going to be spending the night that night. I had one young man a couple months ago. He was late for a class, and I was at the front door. He comes in, kind of dirty, like he just, come out of a manhole. He said, "Man, I'm late. I don't have an alarm clock in my dumpster." He spent the night in the dumpster because he didn't have anywhere else to go. So on January 2nd, we're able to start this program. And we are able to provide 70 housing units for individuals. Shared Housing Services provides host homes. And if you're interested in being a host home, we have information for you right here. Please come to me. This is providing $400 a month to pay for a room in the home of a caring adult, working with a young person that is going to be connected to employment or education. And this gives them the opportunity to be mentored by somebody at your house. Being able to have dinner, probably for the first time, with a family, and have that impact. We also have 20 what we call independent living units. These are funds provided by Tacoma Housing Authority, and usually they provide a voucher, but in this case, they're able to give us money, cash, pure cash. THA is one of 30 housing authorities in the nation that have that flexibility from HUD to be able to provide cash rather than a voucher. So what we're able to do is find an apartment that best fits that individual at a cost that once we are done working with them, up to 2 years, they're able to stay in that apartment and afford it, rather than have them move out and we move somebody else in. Now, we'll just find a new apartment and get somebody involved. So, Sunrise's role. I met with the board, must have been last month, December, to talk about the homeless grant, being able to provide some housing for some families. So we worked really hard. January 2nd came along. Tonight, this afternoon, we will place a young couple with a child into a unit over on MLK Way because of the dollars you're able to provide for us. So they're 19 years old. They have I think it's a 3-month-old child. You know where they're staying at right now? They're staying in a car provided by a stranger they met on the bus. The car is in the driveway of the home of the stranger, and the baby is staying in the house of the stranger while the parents stay in the car. So this afternoon, they will be coming to the apartment unit, be given a key to the door of their new place. The young lady is a student at Everest College. The young man has completed 3 tests out of the 5 needed for the GED. And then once he takes the GED test, he'll be able to access some veterans benefits through his mother to go to college. Well, number 1 is we're going to make sure the young lady completes her schooling at Everest and help her get a job. Number 2 is we're going to help the father be able to finish his GED and go to college and access those benefits. So that is who you are serving today. And I want to say on behalf of that family, thank you. Because the dollars you're able to provide, we're able to move them in today. With the dollars from the Housing Authority, we're still not able to get everybody in. We're able to leap them in front of everybody, get them placed. So we were talking to them yesterday, and as you can imagine, they're incredibly excited. We're going to videotape them as they open the door for the first time and get them into their house. So thank you again. Those are just, that's just one of the programs that's done at the Reach Center. We have another program we're putting together right now in partnership with Office Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tacoma Public Schools, Tacoma Community College, and Bates Technical College. It's a dropout re-engagement program. So if you can imagine yourself again, you're probably going to school, high school. Some of you are going, you know, this doesn't fit me. You know, I go to school every day. I'm not excited. It's just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it today. Well, then they come back the next day, still not feeling it. Because of the lack of support within their family system, or if they have a family, they end up dropping out. And so the Tacoma School District, and the one thing that Richard forgot to mention is I'm on the Tacoma School Board. This is my 10th year on the board, so I see both sides of the fence. I see the decisions we make as a public education system, and at the end of the day, because of decisions we have to make, I see the other side of the fence when a young person walks in our door that's dropped out of school because we're not able to provide what they need on a daily basis. So what now we're developing is a program in partnership with the various entities to re-engage that dropout in a totally different way. So maybe they want a high school diploma and they want some college credit at the same time. We'll refer them to the Tacoma Community College Fresh Start program, where they can actually be on a college campus, getting their high school diploma and getting college credit at the same time. That'll work for some people. Well, maybe they want to get back into the high school environment, public education. We can refer them back to Tacoma Public Schools with a specific program for dropout re-engagement. But with a lot of them, they've let that system have a sour taste in their mouth. So now we've got our system, the Reach Learning Center. What they're able to do is go to a GED program. We have 4 GED classes a day at the Goodwill building. 2 on the 3rd floor, 2 on the 1st floor. The 1st floor, that's where the Reach Center is located at. The instructors are what we call youth culturally competent. And the fact that they love working this age group. They love working with these young people that are having issues in their lives. And we started this a year ago this month. And we've seen a huge difference when you get an instructor that enjoys working this population and how many, the retention rate of them coming back to the program every day. And then the graduation when they get their GED. So we've got that going. But along with that is that we have other programs. So maybe they're artistic. We're partnering with Fabitat, it's called their Fab 5 program, where they spin. And in our old days, that used to be spin records. Now it's spinning CDs and being able to go to dances and stuff like that. You know, the graffiti art, instead of it's called tagging when it's illegal, but it's called graffiti art when it's legal. They work on the graffiti art aspect of it. Maybe they enjoy dance. We'll get them connected to the Dash Center. But then once again, then they'll be able to get high school credit through those kinds of programs. Maybe they want to do something totally different. Maybe they're the technical type of person. We can get them into training programs. So for instance, Goodwill has the retail training. They've got the culinary skills. They've got the warehouse logistics. They have custodial training. So we can get them connected to that and get them credit for it. And we actually pay for everything that they do through funding through OSPI. And so it's a case to where, once again, they have a chance to get reconnected to education. And they've got a group of people. We have now 10 people on our staff, when you talk about the housing group, that they can connect to any one of them and then develop that relationship and see, okay, I've got somebody to talk to now. And sometimes the things we hear about, we'd rather not hear about because of the issues they drive for other things. We have, like I said, almost 40 partnerships we've developed over the years to serve these young people. We work with Hope Sparks and Life Resources. It's like comprehensive life resources for counseling. And so what we're able to do is a young person that has issues in their lives, we can connect them with a counselor and work with them and develop strategies to overcome some of those barriers they've accrued over the years. We have, one of the programs we have is we call Food Fun Friday. Every Friday we have a cooking class, and at the Reach Center we've got actually a kitchen. A couple stoves, a couple dishwashers, a big refrigerator. So we'll teach young people how to cook food by using the food we get from the food bank every Thursday from Catholic Community Services. So rather than having to go to a store and get chicken or hamburger, we'll use what we can get from the food bank. Teach them how to cook the food so it's nutritious and healthy for them. So there's a lot of different things we look at. We ask them, what do you want? And then we'll develop something. So one of our key players is Becky Plant. She's our employment specialist. She started out as an AmeriCorps member and stayed with us, thank goodness. She has a room of 30 computers. It's our resource room. And she works with everybody that comes in the door, all the way from developing a resume, doing mock interviews, helping with online applications. Every morning she puts a new list of employers looking for employees that fit the young people we work with. And our big communication tool is Facebook. If somebody does not show up for their appointment, Becky gets on Facebook and messages them and says, "Where are you?" And a lot of times they feel guilty and they reply with some excuse, but Becky doesn't let up. I think last year, 2012, we haven't put all the data together yet, she's responsible for 400 young people getting a job, whereas they probably wouldn't have been working right now. In the past, in 2012 and at the very end of 2011, we had 137 internships, paid internships, made available through different funding sources. Those are young people that have never had a job. They're able to go to a job and learn what it is to be in the workplace environment. Becky also has 5 hours of training before they step across the threshold of that business. So they know you can't say when you're at work. You got to make sure, the piercings, your ears, your nose, your everywhere, not appropriate in most locations. And out of this last group, we had 44 that completed their internships. 8 of them got jobs from where they were interning at. And so it's those kinds of successes we are thrilled with every day. Now, saying that is, there's a lot of times we don't have that success. A young person will walk in the door, they'll work with Becky or Zach or Jen or Ayana or Brandon, and they're not ready. They'll go, just not finding it yet. But 6 months from now, they might be ready, and we'll be ready for them also. It is not. Well, we are working with a young woman right now that is about ready to be evicted from her apartment. And we worked with her a year ago. We reconnected with her just a couple days ago, about last week. Found out she was getting evicted. We called a program called Rapid Rehousing because she's almost evicted. She won't be evicted for a couple weeks. We can't help her at Housing for Success because we have to make sure they're homeless right now, living on the street or couch surfing. Homeless within 72 hours, they're going to be kicked out of their place, or they're experiencing domestic violence or violence within where they're living. Those are our parameters. She was ineligible because she still has a place to live for a couple weeks. So yesterday we contacted the county. We'll probably be able to get her funding through Rapid Rehousing. So she'll be able to stay in her apartment, but she'll get funds to help pay for the apartment and help get her on her feet. She just applied to a daycare yesterday. Tomorrow she goes back and for a practice run, and then the hope is she gets hired by them. She gets stabilized. Also received an email from a case manager she works with and says, when do you hand out food? I said, we hand out food just about every day. She said she just found out this young lady hadn't been eating because she has no food. And so we're able to provide the food for her. And through World Vision, we're able to provide in-kind services, gift in-kinds like diapers, books. We have books. I get 40 books a day or a month from World Vision. And we use that for our GED program. And they're lined up against the wall. And the deal is, if you finish a section of the GED, then you can get a couple books. So what happens, the instructors were telling me that they'll actually, the student will select their books first and reserve them. And then when they finish their section, they'll grab those books. And the instructor told me yesterday, we need more books. We're almost out. And so next week I'm going to World Vision to pick up some more books. It's the little things like that that really make a difference for that young person that's never seen that support in place before. And they understand that when they walk into the Reach Center, we're there for them. We don't make any assumptions whatsoever. We don't care about their history. We care about their future and see what we can do to help them and get everybody surrounding them with that approach, that holistic approach they're not used to. So, we always have takeaways, and I didn't put them out, so if you need more information about what we do and about our housing program, Housing for Success, I've got information here up at the front. There's two different types of marketing we do in regards to programming. This is our card. This is our little business card that we use, and we just hand these out to the young people. We'll have our staff go out this morning. Zach and Jen are going to Mount Tacoma High School. The vice principals and a counselor there have asked them to come because there's 20 students that will not complete high school. And so they're going to meet with those 20 students and put a pathway together for them. And in reality, we'll probably be able to move them into our dropout re-engagement program, where they're able to access education in a different way. What I didn't pull out is on April 24th, we have a job fair. In April, we usually see 250 young people that come into the Reach Center looking for work. I mean, they are decked out. They've got their, in some cases, sports jackets and ties on. They're not sagging. They got their best clothes on. They've got their resumes in hand and ready to get a job. In some cases, we're seeing that they're getting jobs within the next few weeks after this job fair. We have over 30 employers, colleges, and training programs that attend the job fair for us. And this is the opportunity where a 16 to 24-year-old, it's about them. It's not about any other age group, it's about them. And so once again, they just come in, they are able to access something that's built around what their needs are. So what I'd like to do is just stop right here and see if there's any quick questions that I can answer. And if not, I've also got the materials up front, and I'll be here for a few minutes.